Welcome to another RSR. Tonight I'm reviewing Florida Panthers 6, Toronto Maple Leafs 1, Stanley Cup Playoffs 2025, Round 2, Game 7. The Florida Panthers win 6-1, another ass-kicking of the Leafs by the Panthers to win the series 4-3. They wanted it more. They deserved the win. They move on to the Eastern Conference Finals to play the Carolina Hurricanes. And you know what? First of all, before I totally rip on the Leafs, I'm not even going to talk about the goals, just like Game 5, because there's no reason. It's more about how the Leafs performed. But I will say, Florida, you deserve this win. You are the better team. This is why I was afraid of you. You are a team that knows how to win. Dirty, clean, doesn't matter. They always find a way. That's how they are. Yeah. People don't like the Florida Panthers because they're dirty, because they take liberties, because Colin Campbell backs up the team like nobody's business. But that doesn't matter. They're a very good team, and they know how to piss you off, beat you down, and make you their freaking play toy. That's what they do. That's what they do. They know how to win. Is it dirty? Yeah, but guess what? Sometimes you got to pull some things to win. Sometimes you got to be dirty. Sometimes you got to take some liberties to win. And they do. And they always find a way. Hey, it's all the respect in the world to the Florida Panthers. They whipped the hell out of the Leafs the past 2 out of 3 games. I'm surprised they didn't end it in 6. But then again, that's what the Leafs do. Survive just to break everybody's heart, which is exactly what they did. Toronto didn't even show up, especially after the first period. The first 10 minutes, Florida hemmed the Leafs in their own zone, and you thought that was the Florida Panthers' biggest punch of the night. Then the Leafs start waking up. Florida looks quizzical, frustrated they couldn't score on that early flurry. The Leafs start putting chances on. They look like the better team. What happened? The problem is it's not even a game where the Leafs didn't show up at all. They did show up for 10 minutes. They kept the energy to keep themselves in it until that last 10 minutes of the first period, and then they blew it. And then once they come back to the second and third periods, what happens there is this team utterly collapses. 3 goals within 5 minutes, it felt like, from like boom, boom, boom. After the Florida Panthers high-stick the linesman, I'm not saying that changed anything on the Leafs' momentum. Probably did a little bit, but that's what it is. The Leafs allowed 3 goals off the bat. Like boom, boom, boom. And you knew, after the first one went in, you knew they were cooked. Then the second one goes in, you're like, yeah, this is over. The third one goes in, you're like, yep, nope, done. The only guy who showed up after the first period was Max Domi. What a goal. Good job, Max. He scored. He has heart. He cares about this crest because his dad played for this crest. The Ballard version, but still. He played for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Max Domi cares. Which is some I could say, at least for him, he cares. There's a lot of players on this team that don't care. And that's the first group of people I'm going to blame. That I'm going to point the finger at. Mitch Marner. You are a punk. And I thought you were a tougher player this year. I thought you actually could play playoff-style hockey. You fooled me. Oh, you fooled me. Because you're the same old, weak-old Mitch Marner that was around before Craig Berube. I can't wait to see you go to Chicago. Take your ass. I don't want you back. Goodbye. Goodbye. Take your punk ass to Chicago. That's what you should do. Hey, at least the noise won't overtake you there. Enjoy playing on the same line as Connor Bedard, the fraud. Maybe he'll actually... no, he won't. Then again, you've been playing with a bunch of frauds your whole career. Nothing's going to change. Goodbye. I don't want to see you ever again. Take your ass. But I'll tell you this, CM Punk won't like you. He doesn't like weak players. Enjoy him, CM Punk. Enjoy him. At some point, you're going to want to do the same thing you did to Jungle Boy to Mitch Marner. Definitely can't wait to see that video come out. That's going to be funny. Very funny. Very funny. With that being said, Austin Matthews, you are a disgrace of a captain. Take that C off your damn jersey. Take that C off your fucking jersey. No, you don't deserve that. You don't deserve the C on your jersey. I don't care if you're hurt or not. You actually scored a goal in Game 6 to get this back to Toronto. And then you don't do a damn thing when it's in Toronto. You're not a captain. You could score goals. Yeah. You're on the same pace as Ovi. Yeah, you might could beat Ovi. If you keep going. You finally scored your first goal past round 2, by the way, or past round 1, by the way. Good for you. But you're not a captain. You're not a leader. You're a goal scorer. You're Cristiano Ronaldo. You're not Lionel Messi. You know what I'm saying? You're Cristiano Ronaldo. You're a goal scorer. You're a tap-in merchant. Well, no. I'm not going to be that mean. Maybe at this point you are, but when you played as a younger player, yeah, you could tap in, but you had a good snapshot. What happened? Is that injury so bad you don't have that anymore? You're still not a captain, though. Okay, you're not a tap-in merchant, but you're still Cristiano Ronaldo. You're a goal scorer. That's it. You're not a captain. Put that C back on John Tavares if he stays. Hell, put it on Matthew Nyes because he plays with heart. The dude, I don't know what's wrong with him, but Matthew Nyes still played Game 7, and he still put everything on the line because he cares. Matthew Nyes, I have no complaints about. He's a star. Build this team around Matthew Nyes and William Nylander and Easton Cowan. Because Easton Cowan's about to come up. You want to know how Mitch Marner would look like if he actually had heart? Look at Easton Cowan. Because he plays like Marner, but not in the bad way. All of the good stuff Marner is with a little bit more of a shot, that's what Easton Cowan is, but he also has heart and passion. Watch what he does with the London Knights. Tell me that kid is not a version of Marner with more passion and more goal scoring, who's not afraid to shoot. At least I know your eyes work once you tell me that that's what Easton Cowan is. If you don't, I don't know what you're watching. You don't know puck. I can't wait till Easton Cowan's on this team. Matthew Nyes, put the C on him or Willie or John Tavares if he stays. I'm okay with Tavares staying if it's a hometown discount. But he played well this year. Tavares carried this team at times. And he's still got some juice left. I'm fine with Tavares staying. But if he does, put the freaking C back on him. Or if you're not going to do that, because that'd be crazy to reverse course, put on Nyes or Nylander. Matthews, I'll give him a slight chance if he doesn't wear the C. If he has the surgery and gets back and is back to his old self, the way he's scoring, and then he actually starts scoring in the playoffs, I'll shut up about Matthews. I want Marner gone. Do I still want the C on Matthews, even if he comes back to his old scoring self? No, because as I said, he is Cristiano Ronaldo, not Lionel Messi. He could score goals, but he's not a captain. There's a difference. He is not a leader. He is a goal scorer. Just because you score goals doesn't make you a captain. Tavares is a captain. Nice. Right now, he's a colonel who knows he's going to be a 4-star general. But he's hyped up like a colonel or a sergeant, like that. Nylander, that dude's a leader. Hell, Tanev, give him the C. Give Tanev the C. That dude puts his body on the line for this team. Tanev blocks so many shots. Dude, it's probably over 100. At least that's what it felt like. The dude only has 3 teeth. Chris Tanev is a tough player. That is a captain. They let him down. Morgan Riley, speaking of defensemen, send his ass out of here. He's washed at this point. Get him out of here. He's washed. Washed. Let him go. Carlo, he's okay. Lawton, fine. Domi, he cares. Keep him. Yarncrook, get him out. Holmberg, let him go. Kampf, McMahon, keep him. Robertson, keep him. I don't know why Berube, that's the one thing I question about Berube. Why does he not like Robertson so much? Like, dude, I don't know what it is. That's the one thing I wonder. Either way, build this team around Nyes, Nylander, and Cowan. And if you keep Matthews, fine. But the core four is dead. After tonight, the core four is dead. These guys did not show up. They didn't want it. The fans, and I hate when they call the fans the noise, because you know what that means? These fans, the fans of this team care more than the players. What fucked up mentality is that? Seriously. What fucked up mentality is, hey, the fans are noise. We don't like the noise. Shut up. You're the problem. Show care for this crest. This is an original 6 crest. Why do you not show care for it? Why? Why? This crest means something, and you don't show anything for it? What? You are delusional. This crest means something. The fans have more passion for this crest than you. The players. How fucked is that? And you know, they deserve to throw more of your jerseys on the ice. And you have the gall to salute the fans? Pull up your sticks and salute them after the performance you put out? The last 2 home games? Get the fuck on! Get the fuck on! You're out of your mind. You're out of your mind. They should have thrown the jerseys straight at your ass. Especially Marner's. Especially Marner's. And the thing I blame the most for this team failing that still matters is Kyle Dubas. Kyle Dubas saddled us with these no-move clauses that Mitch Marner had that in the end made us lose. Because guess what? There was a trade on the table for Mikko Rantanen with an extension in place for Marner. Well, the extension was for Rantanen, but Marner didn't take the deal. He didn't. He said, screw you, I'm on stay. That should have been the first warning that he was still the bitch that he normally is, instead of the tough player we thought he was after 4 Nations. That should have been the first takeaway. When he said, you know what? No, I'm staying. I'm staying. You won't trade me for Rantanen. What happens if the Leafs had Rantanen? They win this fucking series. I don't care. The man's going for the Conn Smythe. Mitch Marner could never. Mikko Rantanen would bundle you up and freaking rock you like a baby. You punk. And you want to talk about, Rantanen is a McKinnon merchant. What the hell happened in Game 7 of Round 1? Mikko Rantanen is the best wing player in this league. He deserves the money he's being paid. If Mitch Marner gets what he asked for, his ass should be in fucking Chicago. He doesn't deserve shit. He deserves $0. Minus $0. He deserves to play for fucking Stones. Stones. Weed. Whatever's fucking useless. That's what he deserves to play for. If Chicago's dumb enough to give him $14 million, I salute you. Bedard's already a fucking fraud, and you're gonna get another one to play with him. Wow. I can't wait to see how that blows up in your face. Wow. And if you blame, Kyle Dubas is to blame for this. He is. He is. Because the no-move clause he gave Marner, guess what? Fucked us in the end. Kyle Dubas is an idiot. 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 He can fuck himself. He sucks. Because he screwed this team over. He did. And that's why we're hung back. That's why Craig Berube had to make a team who's full of punks and losers try to play his system. I'm not blaming Craig Berube. You know what? I did this during the stream. I'll do it again. I'm not blaming Craig Berube. He is a winner. He is a winner. Read the damn bottle. He ain't the reason why this team lost. It's about the players that he has to ice because Kyle Dubas is a statistical, analytical fucking idiot. Craig, I'm so sorry. This team gave you those players. And Brad Treliving, I'm not blaming you either. I'm leaving this here. I'm not blaming you either. I'm not. Because you tried to rebuild the D-core on freaking bare bones. You tried your best. Kyle Dubas is a hockey terrorist. And I'm sorry, Pittsburgh. You're going to feel terror when he's your GM. And if he brings Sheldon Keefe, God help you. God help you. God fucking help you if he brings Sheldon Keefe. Because one, Wes McCauley's going to hate your ass. Second of all, Sheldon Keefe sucks just as bad as him. Yeah, you can win minor hockey. You can win junior. You can't win in the NHL. You fucking paper boy. You can't win in the NHL. You soft. Soft. S-A-W-F-T. Soft. And that's why we are where we are. Craig Berube, I feel sorry for you. I hope they move all the punks, all the weaklings that made you lose. Because when they do, you will win a Stanley Cup for the Toronto Maple Leafs. You know why they said this was different? Because we have a winner as coach. Brendan Shanahan, you could take your ass too. I hope you get fired. I hope you get fired. This is what Craig Berube stands for. This is what he stands for. Not losing. I don't know about Brad Treliving. The Calgary Flames are a joke. Because they traded Sam Bennett and Matthew Tkachuk and Johnny Gaudreau. Rest in peace to Johnny Hockey. Man, it's so sad what happened to him. But, I don't know about Brad Treliving, but I do know Craig Berube ain't a fucking loser. You know who the losers are? Mitch Marner, Austin Matthews, Morgan Riley. For sure. I ain't calling Willie a loser. I ain't calling Nas a loser. You're out of your mind. But there are a lot of players on this team that are losers. And the penalty kill, solid. Lane Lambert, I like what he does. You know, that's life. Craig Berube, man, I hate it for you. I fucking hate it for you. Dude, I fucking hate it for you. Jesus Christ. Well, I hate it for me, but I have nothing to do with it, so I'm just a fan. I'm noise, am I? I'm noise, right? I'm noise, right? It doesn't matter what I think, right? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what I think, right? I'm noise, right? But no, you're a bunch of punk-ass losers, and you deserve to have your jerseys thrown on the ice. Especially you, Mitch Marner. I can't wait to see the back of you. What the hell was that performance? My God. My God, the core four is dead. And I'm happy about it. Because, God, we wasted a decade with these losers. Especially with Babcock and Keefe and Dubas and Shanahan thinking it was always going to work somehow. You know when the core four really died? 2021 against the Habs. The Habs is when the core four really died. It is. Because that's when they doubled down on this bullshit and gave no move clauses and thought, hey, you know what? Yeah, no, we'll run it back. That was embarrassing. And you run it back? 22, 23, 24. Well, I guess 25 doesn't really count. Craig Berube tried to save it. One more year with the core four was, hey, they've done the best they've ever done as a fan for me. They won 7 playoff games. Good job, Craig Berube. He dragged them to 7. Hey, they've done the best I've ever seen them do. I saw them go to a game 7 of round 2. I never saw that. The last time they did that, I was a fucking toddler. Well, no, did they even go in 2002? Either way, No, yeah, game 7, and then they play Carolina. No, yeah, no. I wasn't even a fan yet. They got this far. And further, the best I've seen them do was 6 wins until what? 2 days ago. The first year I was a fan, 6 wins, 6 playoff wins. The best I saw them do since then was 5. And then 2 days ago, they got to 7. Why do I do this? Why? I'm still going to be here in September. I know. I just got to... Either way. Dude. You're a fucking joke. This team. And Florida deserves it, as I said. But they got to build around Nylander, Cowan, and Nyes. Simple. Simple. If you want to keep Austin, fine. Take the fucking C off of him. Berube, you better not even question him. He's not the problem. And if you do, you're a born idiot. You're a born idiot if you blame Berube. Blame Marner, Dubas, and freaking Shanahan at most. That's where most of this lies. Shanahan, go away. I want you gone. Go back to DOPS. Tell that porn stash George Peros to fuck off. Well, then again, if the Leafs fire Shanahan, he probably won't be any fairer to them than Peros was. So I don't know. Jesus Christ. Man. Oh, man. What a bunch of losers. What a freaking heartbreak. And it was like slow. It was just like they were shitting down their freaking pant leg. The fuck? Wow. And you'd be like, well, why are you cursing so much? Just how I really feel. Okay? I'm not going to censor myself to make the freaking rosy feelings, which there shouldn't be any, feel any better. I don't care. I feel angry. Like, yeah, no, a certain Steve Dangle might be angry, but he's going to try not to curse or he'll bleep it. Because he cares about the kids. Me, I'm just going to be real. And what I feel is I'm going to curse up a storm like a sailor. Like the pirate I am. And that's what this team deserves. To be cursed out, not a pirate. No. I know hockey, but no. I love Craig Berube. He doesn't deserve to be fired. No. I always am going to love Craig Berube for him being the winner that he is. I always will. I don't care what happens here. I told you he was a winner. He freaking drugged this team to 7 in round 2 against the Florida Panthers. I am blaming Craig Berube for shit. And you shouldn't either. With that being said, I think I've said almost everything I needed to say 300 times in a row. That was cathartic. Congratulations, Florida, for advancing to the Eastern Conference Finals. I hope Big Ol' destroys you in the Stanley Cup Final. I hope Connor McDavid gets his revenge. Big Ol'! I hope they do. With that being said, fuck, man, this hurts. I saw it coming. I said they were going to win Game 6 just to lose 7. Then I got faith, like I always do. I fell for it again. This hurts. This one hurts. And if you like this video, like it, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell all your friends. If you like this video, like it, share, subscribe, blah, 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 blah. I will see you on Tuesday for the Canadian Championship quarterfinal first leg, Forge versus CF Montreal. At least we can watch Montreal get stomped out again. That'll be fun. And then I'll see you on Wednesday for the Europa League final. And by the way, the Liga MX fans, you'll get what you want because these guys choked. I'll see you on Thursday and Sunday for the Liga MX final. Looks like right now to be Club America versus Toluca. Because, of course, America finds a way. Robble. Just like the Leafs find a way to choke. Oh, and Cruz Azul, by the way, because we are just like them. Ain't that funny? They always find a way. Robble. I'll see you later. I'm running. I'm out. Peace. Dear God. Peace. I'll be back in September for this team. I don't know any better.